call this meeting of the Palmyra Borough Council to order. Everyone please rise for pledge of allegiance and moment of silence for the armed services. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yep. Brenda, may we please have roll call?
Sure. Counselor Andrews,
Present.
Counselor Catalani,
Here.
Counselor Fliegel,
Here.
Counselor Garber,
Here.
Counselor Coroli. Here. Counselor Tache,
Here.
Counselor Shear,
Here.
Mayor Carpenter is absent. We have a quorum.
Just a reminder to please silence all cellular devices during the meeting. Thank you. There are no special visitors scheduled for tonight, which takes us to public comment period number 1. Please state your name and address for the record and try to limit your comments to 5 minutes.
Go ahead, Don.
Anybody? Nobody? Okay. Closing public comment period number 1. Moving on to the consent calendar. Approve the minutes of the February 27th, 2024 Borough Council meeting.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that takes us to the action and discussion items. First thing is road closure request for the 2024 Memorial Day Parade. Discussion on and if appropriate, suggested motion is to authorize the closure of the roads necessary to assemble and conduct the Palmyra Memorial Day Parade on Monday, May 27th, 2024, from 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., utilizing the following parade route, beginning at the intersection of West Cherry and South Mark for the lineup, continuing in front of the middle school on West Cherry Street, east on Cherry, north on South Green, west on Main Street, south on Locust, and disbanding at the Palmyra Middle School. Chief, any issues with that?
So moved.
I'll second that one.
I'm assuming you would like to know what council members will be participating?
Actually, hold on. All those in favor?
Oh, sorry.
Aye. Opposed?
Sorry, I jumped the
Okay.
gun there.
I would like to know, mention what Jane was gonna mention. When do you need to know by? Okay.
Can we just email the same place? we
Email
did
again?
last year?
Okay.
I'm sure we did it. Beth and I actually have a little plan with the wagon this year.
That's right, I forgot about that.
Look at you two.
So yes, if you are planning on riding, walking, driving, email.
Is the email here? Or it could be sent to me, I guess.
Memorial Day Parade,
Yeah.
2024, it'll come up.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. If you have any issues, let us know.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, thank you. Next item is ordinance 829, amend chapter 350, vehicles and traffic. Discussion on and if appropriate, suggested motion to authorize the borough solicitor to prepare and advertise ordinance number 829, an ordinance amending the following provisions of chapter 350, vehicles and traffic of the Palmyra Borough Code of Ordinances. You can see the addition of 3 and removal of 1 listed there on your agenda. Any questions, comments, or do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second? Second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, that takes us to resolution 2024-12, approve 2023 Lebanon County Hazard Mitigation Plan. Discussion on and if appropriate, suggested motion to approve resolution 2024-12, a resolution approving the 2023 Lebanon County Hazard Mitigation Plan.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have some questions about that. Who wants to go first?
No, go ahead. You said.
Okay, so it's 348 pages to be exact, and a lot of info. So I have been talking about this with other people in the county, and also reading through it as well. I just, to be honest with you, you know, in my opinion, you know, in section 4.2.3, is political, you know, just the language of it, with the climate change language is just unneeded, to the accurate handling of the hazard. And so, I have an example here that I got, from South Londonderry, an example that can show how we can restructure our resolution here and just make it that the climate change, like, it's just unneeded with everything that I think is more purposeful in that whole 348 pages, if you had a chance to read it. It's some of the facts that it says, like, you know, this is some of the most hazarded stuff here I wrote down. I mean, one of the points it says is, one states that rapid climate change unparalleled in Earth's history. I mean, massive you know. And then another one is climate change has the potential to increase frequency of, you know, all certain stuff, landslides in Lebanon County, all types of things that section there. I just don't think it really belongs. So if you wanted to pass that down, you can kind of look at it.
I'll be honest, I didn't finish it, but I actually have 4.2.3 listed here because I totally agree. The way it is now, I'm not voting for it.
Yeah. And all it is takes a little bit of a change like they did. You know, we can use that. I got permission. But it's something that it's just not needed. Simple as that. If it was needed, then, you know.
Okay, so my concern with that whole man-made climate change thing, I'm not saying there's not climate change. I'm not convinced it's man-made. Although I do my part to recycle and try to be a conscious consumer. But if that's in there, what's to say that the state can't come back to us and say, well, this was man-made.
Oh,
We're admitting that it's man-made, or we're agreeing that it could possibly be man-made, and if something happens,
No, and that's excellent. That's one of the points that I'm worried of, and that's one of the points that several people are worried about, is that what if they come back in a couple years or whatever, and they hold us to something, or we get penalized or something along those lines. It's just not needed to be in any of this, of what is the most important things in this document.
yeah. Because there is a lot of good things in the document also, but.
Right.
So
Oh, sorry, I didn't, may I see?
where do we go from here with this?
Yeah, but
I'm not sure, because I think, my understanding is the county commissioners already approved this
They
thing.
did.
But you can make a resolution. Let's see.
The only thing is, if this is adopted, even with this caveat in here, it's adopted, and it's a countywide thing. It's not like we're adopting something with a caveat. We're adopting it, but once it's adopted, our little caveat is, it just says objects to be politically motivated. I don't know if that gets us off the hook.
Well, it also, what it does is that each borough, each township, city, they need to approve it too, and so we can go on record and have this in place, stating that, hey, listen, this verbiage right here, we don't agree with it, and this is what we'd rather have.
That would be almost irrelevant.
Yeah.
Because the county has
Right.
approved it.
Then if it doesn't matter if the county doesn't have it, then why are they saying this to us?
Because they want all the municipalities.
Right,
And
so-
Well,
last time,
we have to have a hazard mitigation
Yeah.
plan. So you can either develop your own, or you can approve the counties, and that's our hazard mitigation plan.
Okay, so
I
here's a
don't-
question.
I don't know that there's another option.
If we develop our own, does the counties trump ours?
No.
No.
No, if we adopt our own, we have to pay for it, and then that costs money, and then, but yes, we would adopt that new one, and then that would be ours.
But the county or the state can't come and say, well, the county adopted this, so you have to follow.
and the last one, not every municipality adopted it. If I remember correctly, there were several that didn't adopt it.
Yeah.
Basically, if you don't have a hazard mitigation plan and there's a disaster, we won't be eligible for any funding. That's the bottom line.
My suggestion is that we take a look at this proposal, and if we want to add something to it or whatnot, and we propose it, and then we see what we get back in return, and then we kind of go from there. That's how my thing is, like, let's see what goes on, instead of just thinking like we
But
have to do
propose
this.
it to who?
Well, if the county, I mean, they're saying that the county is saying that we need to, okay, this is what we want change in it, and we'll just see what they have
But
to
they
say back.
adopted it already, so I
They
don't,
already
there's,
adopted it.
there's not gonna be any
They're not gonna
changes.
care what we have to say, right?
This is just, I think, if I'm correct, I think that's just South Londonderry accepting it, well, I think it would said South, and just stating that they didn't like this particular wording.
Oh, right,
But I don't think that, I mean, they approved it,
How much?
so,
well,
I'm
Yeah.
agreeing with you, but I don't think that there's anything we can do about the county's plan.
no,
They're not
I
gonna
don't, no,
change
the only
anything.
option would be is if we got an outside vendor and paid for that, and that's, could be pretty pricey.
I would imagine that
Yeah,
is.
cause Lebanon City
I'd
looked
like
in
to
that.
hear Joselle's
I was
take on
gonna
that.
say,
yeah,
that'd be
can
my
we-
suggestion.
Yeah.
is
I mean,
that-
I'm assuming that their solicitor obviously wrote
I
that,
don't know,
but
I have no idea.
yeah, but I'd like to
Don't
see,
assume
yeah.
Yeah,
But I would like to see what Joselle says about that.
I agree. Everybody else okay with that?
Yeah, when do we have to have a decision by?
there wasn't a timeline. I specifically asked that, and I just think it's, you know, when we get around to it kind of thing, so.
Next disaster.
Yeah, like an earthquake. Yeah,
You just jinxed us. I will hunt you down.
He'll be easy to find.
I know exactly where he lives. Okay. Okay, that takes us to Resolution 2024-13, 2024 fee resolution update. Discussion on and if appropriate. Suggested motion to approve Resolution 2024-13, a resolution amending the 2024 fee resolution by adding hearing fees for liquor license transfers and local agency law appeals.
This was a suggestion from Joselle because we were almost on the verge of a third liquor hearing. And we don't have a set fee for these, so we're eating some costs on these. So if they're gonna become more prevalent, then
Yep. Okay,
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
there you go, we all second.
That was a unanimous second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay.
Now for the elephant in the room. So now for the elephant in the
Yeah.
room.
Resolution 2024-14, appoint Assistant Zoning and Codes Enforcement Officer. Discussion on and if appropriate, suggested motion to approve Resolution 2024-14, a resolution to appoint William R. Garber II as the Assistant Zoning and Codes Enforcement Officer at the discretion of Borough Council until the first Monday of January 2026.
Okay, well, I have a question. 2026? Is it 2-year? Oh, that's reorg. Never mind.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You got it.
I'll make the motion.
I said, I asked him what he would do to me if I said no, but I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain?
Good.
Okay, that takes us to council vacancy. Borough Council shall have 30 days from March 18th, 2024, to appoint a new council member to finish the remainder of William Garber's term expiring January 5th, 2026. April 9th, 2024 is the last Borough Council meeting prior to the expiration of the 30-day period. Just an FYI.
Put the word out, listen.
I actually have a letter of interest. Yep, so I would like to put that into the record. The letter of interest is from Marcus Riddle.
And do whatever we did with the last ones too,
right.
get a field of candidates and we'll have to,
Do that fun public interview process.
well, it's not that, it's just sometimes depending on the amount of people.
It's awkward.
It takes, yeah, and it takes time, so, which you need time to appoint somebody who's
Yeah, walk back in there like go swear in.
good.
Do you want to conduct those at the next meeting?
Yeah.
You're not going to be here.
Should we really be here?
I forgot I
I
wasn't
mean,
gonna be here.
technically, we could conduct them and,
April 9th.
yeah, we could do it on April 9th and then
Can we do
appoint somebody.
Can we do two sessions, or do we have to do it all at once?
I'd do it all at once,
You would?
so everybody can hear
I
it.
wasn't gonna be here.
Yeah, then wait
Not to
April
pull out
9th.
my questions.
I had to check my calendar at home. I don't remember what I'm doing.
What?
No. Okay, I don't remember what I'm supposed to be doing that night.
What, April 9th?
No, 26th.
Oh,
Can we,
could April 9th, we just would have to interview and appoint the same evening.
can we do April 9th, but if things change and we can do it next, meeting?
Have to
You
let
have to
them,
let
yeah,
we
we
have to
let
we
everybody
have
know.
to
Be here
We
at the
have to
end of the
advertise it.
Well, like, I'm saying like 24 hours, like if you can find out 24 hours, and then, is that enough? Can we do that?
Can you know by tomorrow?
I'll know by tomorrow.
Yeah, can you do 24 hours?
I just had to check my other calendar.
You put down the 9th, and then she'll let you know, and then if we need to switch.
So let us know if you're going to
I'll
be
let
here or
you know
not.
tomorrow,
And if you're
yeah.
not going to be here, then we'll put it to the 9th. And if you're going to be here, then we'll do
I
the
did tell you it was
26th.
the 26th.
Does that work? Does
Yeah,
Okay.
that works with me.
that work?
Yes, that works. I'll let you know tomorrow. Now my mind's going, what am I forgetting? What am I forgetting?
And the other part of this is, I talked to Joselle about, because Bill is on our planning commission as the council representative.
Yeah.
So she said he can remain on the planning commission even though he's the assistant zoning officer, that's okay. But if council desires to have representation on the planning commission, then you have to find one of you to replace that position as well. So that's something else to think about.
I mean, no offense, I think it would probably be best to have someone from council, no offense at all. I just think it's probably best, that's how it's always been, and I think that's how it should remain. That's just my advice.
I'm not gonna argue that point, I think it is.
It's always
Yeah,
been that way, I don't think we should change,
He could be a citizen at large,
right?
a borough at large member, yeah.
Then we could do that, but I think it's always been that way, I don't think we should change it now, and then that way, who knows, it might never get changed back.
In the past, we've had 2 council members on the planning commission, so.
As I have said plenty of times in the past, I'm on enough committees.
I do.
So, okay, well, let's give that some thought too, till, I guess.
All right, president's report. I don't have anything except to figure out where I'm supposed to be next 2 weeks. Financial report. Everybody has the financial statement as of February 29th. That will be
No.
available at the next meeting, sorry. And that takes us to the delinquent sewer and refuse account report.
Looks good,
Looks very good.
yeah, back in the right direction.
Yeah, and just to follow up on your previous meeting's approval of writ of certification, we don't send those to the attorney right away. We will send letters letting them know that Borough Council has approved us to take this step. And then we give them an opportunity to either work it out with the payment plan or come in and pay it in full. Well, we've had some good reaction from that letter. So one gentleman came in that was on the list and handed us a check for the full amount. And so, you know, it's a very successful tactic, if you will.
I mean, let's face it, I don't think anybody here wants to go that route, but,
Well, we don't.
no.
It's a lot of
No,
work,
it is,
but we will.
yes.
that takes us to the fire department. Fire department? Still over there? Okay. Anything?
Yeah, just a quick mention. Dave Dugan's been working with the other fire departments and other municipalities on regionalizing the fire departments into like an authority. So the next meeting for that group with the municipal managers will be March 27th at North Londonderry. So I won't be able to give you an update until, I guess, the April 9th meeting, so.
Will will that need, an authority, like, or,
That's how they're approaching it.
okay,
yeah.
that it won't be a fire commission for the borough anymore, it'll be an authority,
Yeah.
and, okay.
And Dave told me, he's been working with the attorney that also helped set up, Northwest Lancaster County set up an EMS authority. But apparently the attorney says that the state hasn't approved it yet, but I got my bill already for the, for the ambulance service. So I thought, wow, you're collecting money, but you're not sure that I don't know. So nobody really knows what's going on. Because I guess that's the first one in the state for the EMS.
Okay.
And if we do the fire department one, it'll be the first one in the state for a fire authority, so.
It's the way of the world. You gotta do it. Costs are way too high for everything.
Anything else for fire? Okay. Police department, chief.
Nothing? You have nothing on your report?
I have something, but I'll let you first.
Oh,
You're first
okay.
on
You want me to boggle their minds and then you're gonna wrap it all up?
Easy.
In front of you, I put page 3 of the pension cost audit that was done for the regional commission. I'd sent that to you previously, but this is the page here that really tells the story. Currently, the borough police pension is funded at 106%. So as you can see, under Palmyra Borough Police 1/1/2023, we have a liability of 5.8 million and we have assets available of 6.2. So that allows us to be considered 106% funded. Upon the merger of the plan, it will move down to 105% funded. You can see Palmyra Borough Police actuarial liability is 6.2, and again, we're assets at 6.5, so it takes us down to 105%, which is still a good position. Okay, Anvil Township is currently funded at 94.9%. Now, some could argue that that's 95, but according to the charter, it has to be 95. Hold that thought. We'll get back to that. Upon the merger, they will have an actuarial liability of 910,000, and the assets that they will have to divest to get to 95% will be 865,000. So the additional 45,000 that you see below it for unfunded liability, because it's not in a parentheses, it's not a surplus. So this is the amount that they would owe to get to 100%. Okay. However, the way that the charter is written, that to get them to 100% will come out of the borough's surplus, which is something you all need to consider. Because what happens then is the borough will be making up that 5% for them to be 100% funded,
How much is the 5%?
The 45,000.
the 45,000.
Okay, then I'm confused, because I thought Anvil was supposed to pay this.
They're
get
going
to
to
the-
pay that.
Oh, that's
They're
right.
gonna pay the $865,208
Right.
because that is what they're required to take out of their current pension
Right,
plan
and put it in the
to
new
put it
one.
in to be at 95%
But I
funded.
thought they were supposed to come up with the
No, they're
difference.
gonna put in the
What?
910
Yes.
to make it 100%.
Right.
Right.
So we had a meeting this past week with the PMRS folks, and their township manager said that they can put in the 910 to make it 100%. Of course, that's gonna have to go back to the Anvil Township Board, and we will talk about it at the commission meeting on Thursday. but they are able to give us the 100% at 9/10, okay? It's based on what we are learning in this process, it would be a recommendation that you revisit your charter, because anybody that's coming into the regional department should be required to make their pension plan 100% whole, not 95. Now, I will say, if you recall, the 95% was based on the fact that we thought they were more underfunded than they proved to be. So, but for the sanity of those those municipalities that are in this commission, as it makes sense to require 100% funding. So,
We'll have to do that at the commission meeting? Yeah.
right, well,
I'm actually, I didn't think they were this close.
no,
I
we didn't
get
either.
the impression, so I was happy when I saw that they were over 90% funded, because it's
Yes.
unusual in this day and age to see any municipality or any pension fund funded over 90%.
Yes, originally they had told us that they were 75% funded, which we didn't really understand, because that could make you an Act 47
Yeah.
community. But, no, they're at 94.9 currently with the 865. But I don't think that, and again, it's something that you all need to decide. I just don't think that the surplus that the taxpayers of the borough of Palmyra and our active employees have paid into should go to bring them to 100%.
Agreed.
So pretty much they have to be able, which they said they would, pay the 910. Because if they pay the 865, then we're gonna have to
Well,
pay
the
the
township
45.
manager said she could, but
Right.
the township,
Right, and
And
that's,
Mm-hmm.
but if they do the 865 and then it's on the borough of Palmyra,
Yeah.
yeah, that's, no.
Yeah, and just from the supervisors that we've spoken to, they seemed on board with that too. I mean, they had all agreed.
I'm not anticipating a problem.
No, I don't either.
But you all, as council, who have put this money in on behalf of the taxpayers, need to know this.
Yeah.
So, and then,
And I'm not for spending or doing that. They need to come in.
they need to come up with it. We were instructed that they have like 1.6 million in their police pension plan, and taking the 910 out will still leave them enough, because they are keeping their retired employees in their plan. So they're not divesting their plan completely. Whereas,
Well, I do thank you though for bringing it to our attention, because it is something we need to discuss for future.
If they agree for the 910, then we don't have to
Right.
put that 292 in.
They're
No, the
planning
45.
on putting $910,000 into being 100%.
Right,
Gonna be
then that
100%
292 doesn't apply to us.
No, that's the
No.
surplus.
Yeah.
The surplus would have been reduced by 45,000 and won't be reduced by 45,000, so it should be the
Yeah.
338.
And they were voting on it when, this coming week, or?
I don't know that they're voting on it.
So they still have to vote on it, but hopefully, but, so, say,
Well-
worst case scenario, if we had to pay the 45, it's not something where like they would then reimburse us or something like that, like we
No,
would just
that's
have
not
to
how
pay?
it, that's
I'm
not
just
how it
curious.
works, yeah. That's
Okay.
not how it works with
Well,
the pension
then,
plan.
let's hope they all agree to pay.
So, when you see that last column, if this goes and they put the 910 in,
They've-
that
they've-
surplus will go up.
Which is a nice position to start your
Yes.
Great
commission
position.
pension plans out with.
No catch on it.
Because you're gonna have a surplus in that, thanks to the borough of Palmyra.
Oh, the 45, that's what I meant to say, sorry. I was looking at the wrong column.
No, thank you for letting us know.
But I still strongly recommend
Yes, absolutely.
a conversation at the next commission meeting, that charter has to be changed just in that portion alone, that section, that anybody coming in has to have a 100% funded
Yeah.
pension plan.
No, I agree, totally.
Now, just curious, if other people come in, is it always gonna fall on the borough of Palmyra, or would it fall on borough and Anvil?
No, then it would be the regional
Yeah,
police
then it
department.
would be
is the problem.
regional.
Okay, but still come out of the taxpayers, cause they funnel it, oh, geez.
Well, but if we make anybody who would come in the future at 100%,
Yeah.
there's not
then-
an
yeah,
issue.
Got it.
Yeah, then that should,
Nobody's losing anything.
Yeah.
that'd be smart. Yeah, that's the way.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My question is, I just need to know if I can get approval to use 50,000 out of capital reserves and I'll pay it back with my grant money.
Andy.
Kinda like what I did with the,
Thank you.
remember how we did the body camera where you approved the 40,000, then when I got the grant, I reimbursed the borough? I need to see if I can get approval for 50,000 out of capital reserves, and that money's gonna come back to you through the DCED fund. So it'd be the same thing, like uniforms, car decals. So as I get the bill, we pay it, I submit the form, they dump the money back, direct deposit to the account. It'll be just like we did before. It took, what, I think 30 days about to get reimbursed, and then you got your 40,000 back. So the only difference is it'll be like a couple grand here, a couple grand there, but it's gonna roll right back in.
All within 30 days, that's
Any
fine.
Yeah, I think that's,
Yeah.
it doesn't take long.
Worked before.
Should have a motion.
Motion?
I'll
Yeah, we
make
should
that,
have a
I'll
motion,
make that
since
motion.
you're actually spending money, yeah.
I'll make that motion.
And I'll second. Should I be seconding? With being on the police
That's
commission?
fine.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
So, did I hear correctly that North Cornwall and North Lebanon are gonna be called the Lebanon County Regional Police Department?
I don't know what they're doing. I'm not sure.
I swear I heard it said that it was going to be the Lebanon County Regional Police Department.
He'll know the answer better than all of us.
No? Okay. Something like North Lebanon. Okay, because we floated that around and
got
then
rid
we
of it.
said, well, yeah, well, that's, Okay, I just thought it was funny, but I heard that and I'm like, huh? Okay.
Anything else, chief? Anybody have anything for the chief? Okay. Planning Commission did not meet in February. Next scheduled meeting is Wednesday, March 27th, 2024, beginning at 7 PM. Takes us to the Public Works Department. Everybody should have the superintendent's monthly report in their packet. Anybody have any questions on that?
Did I? Oh, the library report is not listed on the agenda?
No, I just noticed that too.
Oh, because it was on last.
It was
It was
listed on
supposed
the
to be
last
last
one, and
one.
I, yeah.
Got it.
Any questions on the library
I know what
report?
it says.
Any questions on the library report? Okay. Any questions on the superintendent's report? No. Okay, all right. You're up, Roger.
All right, municipal building, HVAC controls, trained, we have the paperwork signed, they have ordered the stuff to do the job. So I don't know when they're gonna start doing the job, but it's in process, so.
They give you any timeline? That,
They didn't. It's all gonna depend on
I was
availability.
assuming the supply chain issues have eased up,
No, not on some, not on everything, no.
no?
It's 80 weeks now for electrical components, high-end, the big electrical components, so transformers. things like-
80 weeks.
80 weeks.
We can't get a smart board for 20 years, I think, down at school. I forget how many years it is. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
We got our last one earlier this year and we were told no more for years.
Okay.
But it didn't sound like this stuff, it sounds like it's readily available, so we'll see. But until they receive that, then they'll give us a scheduled time. So that's in the works. Not much. Yeah, I was gonna say, we moved some bushes around here just today. When you drive south on Railroad Street, you couldn't see the message sign at all. It was totally obscured, so we moved some of that stuff around to try to open that up a little bit, so now you can see it, so. And the tree that was in front of the police door was growing into the
You
soffit.
just
and-
noticed that tonight.
Yeah, so we're gonna probably plant that over in front of the firehouse, so. That's just sitting over here
Are we gonna
temporarily.
get something else for, in front of the?
Something like
Something
Yeah.
low, yeah,
That's
so
good.
it doesn't block the camera there.
Yeah. I mean, I'm fine not spending the money on it, but it looks bare now without something.
We talked about creating some pollinator gardens too.
Oh, then it can all be stung when we walk in.
I don't- Some people are allergic to bees, so we may not do it in front of the police door, but we're looking at other places on the property.
Town Square, you may have noticed that the clock's all goofed up again. We've tried everything that we know how to do to reset it, and it's not working, so I've reached out to Verdun to get some help, so, and I haven't heard back from them yet, so we'll see. That's pretty much it for the properties. Everything's still quiet at the cemetery. Parks.
One of these days.
Yeah, for parks, anything? Refuse and recycling, I had to put the contract, the bid spec contract for the refuse hauling on hold a little bit, because Waste Management promised me to get, they have some suggestions for us to incorporate in the next contract, since, based on their experience from doing it for the last so many years, and they haven't gotten that to me yet, but they promised me they would within the next week or two. So I'm hoping to be able to have this all wrapped up so we can, you know, at least have it advertised in May, maybe even award it in May or at least the beginning of June. So that'll give us several months to prepare for the switchover,
Yeah, and that takes you right into
because October starts
And
the.
budget.
And budget also, yeah. Nothing noteworthy on the sewer system. We did have two minor new sinkholes. One was at the northeast corner of the intersection of South Franklin and East Birch. It was kind of between the curb and the sidewalk, and it was it looked like it was going down underneath the road, so we asked the property owner if they minded if we fixed it, and if there was any material cost, they would reimburse us, and he was fine with that. So it was really minor, so I don't even know if we incurred any cost there at this point. And then there was a small hole that opened up kind of in the center of the detention basin area. Scott said it looked like there was some looked like an old dump under there, like maybe years ago that was an area that they used as a dump. Because there was all kind of debris and stuff in there when they excavated it open to find a throat, so. So that's been fixed and it's been stable since, so.
Question, I have a question. The one that's at Rolling Thunder Car Wash,
Yes.
is that new or has it been there? I only just noticed it
I was
2
gonna
days
say,
ago.
I didn't
It's
even notice
fairly
that.
new, yeah, I believe so, within the last
Is that-
couple weeks. Right
in front of Rolling Thunder,
Car wash.
right under the
That one's-
It's
sidewalk.
right adjacent to the other one that was out in the street, so it's probably just a
Probably same thing.
continuation of that.
Moved underneath that big block of
Is that our
concrete.
responsibility or theirs?
No, that's their problem. It's on their property.
Are they doing anything about it? Because,
The last I saw, it was level, they had filled it and it was level.
oh, it's open.
It's open again?
It's open and it's nice size.
Okay.
It's on both sides of the sidewalk.
Drive that way anymore.
Okay. Then it must have opened again.
It's a nice sized hole. I'm surprised the sidewalk is still there, because it's big.
Holy cow.
And to piggyback off that, have we heard from the ARM group about the survey, a final?
Yes, Bill's, they're actually working on the stormwater modeling now. In fact, they're going up to Ridge Road Park on Thursday. They're gonna fly a drone over some of the quarries again to try to get accurate levels of the water levels and things to make sure that their modeling is correct. He's hoping April,
Don't say knives.
yeah, hopefully April, yeah, hopefully not April. But we won't have him come in for that, and he'll bring everything in and present it to us and show how everything worked out, so. So he's shooting for April or maybe early May, so. Stormwater management, Kinsley started working on the Phase A system, the stormwater system along West Front Street. They're kind of working backwards towards the railroad. So they're putting those new inlets in along Front Street, working towards the basin on Ty Irvin's property that needs to be improved. And then they'll do the big dig to get under the railroad, so. And I don't have the timeline yet on that, so.
The date is not a concern, the time is a concern. I thought of that afterwards when I insisted on being there for the groundbreaking, that I'm like, unless they start at like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
Although I probably would be up and ready because I'd be anxious, so.
But I'll let you know. As soon as I know that, I'll send it out to everybody.
Invest in some place at 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm not sure.
Street and alley maintenance, trying to keep up with some of the potholes in the alleys are pretty horrible this time of year. It's pretty bad, but we'll get on that as the weather gets a little better here. Hopefully the ground freezing is over. It's supposed to get colder again next week, but not that cold. I don't think it'll be below freezing, so.
Just to let you know, bring some attention, you said potholes in alleys. The one that I've noticed that is, one of the alleys that's the most severe is next to Rainbow Snow.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
That one is like.
We're at,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's, yeah.
and next to Lazarus
Yes.
Snow, yeah,
Yeah.
that's bad in there. And we're actually gonna, try to pave those two.
Oh, wow.
This year.
That traditionally has not been a good
No, it's
alley.
always been kind of a problem there, so.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Yeah, that was one we had kind of pegged this year to hopefully pave ourselves,
Okay.
so.
Thanks.
Nothing new on traffic signals. Maintenance has been done. Haven't had any trouble as far as I know, so that's good. So that's pretty much a wrap for Public Works. Solicitor, I'll mention this briefly. Chief Dugan, is looking for, he's getting more and more requests as the fire chief to kind of do stuff that really a fire marshal is supposed to do, and there's not enough fire marshals to do it. So he kind of he proposed a couple things, and I sent it to Joselle, and we've been kind of kicking that around how we can do that, because like third-class city codes, you can do that. You can just name a fire marshal. Borough code has nothing in it about a fire marshal. So we're trying to figure out how's the best way to do that, so that he can do what he's supposed to do.
If there is a fire, for lack of a better term, fire department authority, would that be?
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
Yeah, because it would be multiple municipalities.
Right. So that's going on in the background. Just, you'll see it at some point, I'm sure.
Okay, sorry. Everybody has the zoning officer and codes enforcement officer monthly report in front of them. Any questions on that? Okay. Thank Michelle as always for that report. Zoning hearing board, no hearings were conducted on Monday, March 11th. Takes us to the borough manager's report.
Okay, first item there is the Philadelphia Mixers property is for sale. And we've been contacted by a company that would like to put a food recycling center there. So it's basically gonna be like a wastewater treatment plant for expired grocery store food. So that's gonna require quite a bit of sewer treatment. So I have a meeting, me and Mike Nouse are gonna meet with North Londonderry's people tomorrow to start thinking about that, and to see what, so I don't think we have enough capacity in our portion to accommodate it. But their discharge is past our main pump station, so it kind of directly feeds into North Londonderry. So we're just gonna have to figure all that out and then get back to them with what we're looking at, because they're gonna be responsible for buying the extra capacity. I mean, we're not gonna do that, so.
Okay. I get that. My main concern is the aesthetic of the property going to look different? And
No, what they're looking at doing is, they're not gonna use the existing buildings, they wanna subdivide like 30 acres of the property off. And they'll build a new it almost looks like a real small distribution center building, and then next to it will be an anaerobic digester building, which just looks like a big water tank. So everything there's no off-gassing of anything, everything is contained
Okay, that
inside.
was my next
Yeah.
concern.
And the byproduct is basically real good compost that either they give to sell to area farms, or they said they're looking at maybe possibly trying to come up with a bag situation where anybody can go in and buy the compost in
Well,
bags.
I mean, compost is
So,
good for gardens, but, I mean, for,
yeah.
Will there be a
Fertilizer.
smell associated with this?
that's what,
No,
yeah.
they say not. Now, if you're gonna apply it to a farm field, I'm sure there's gonna be some, but they say it's not anything that,
But as trailers are sitting there waiting to be processed.
With
In the middle of
expired
summer.
food.
But my other
it's all,
question is,
it's all processed quickly, like the trucks come in and they dump the stuff like right into a bin, and the stuff starts getting sorted and it goes right into the process they said within 24 hours of less of when it's delivered to the site.
but Philadelphia Mixers property, isn't that North Londonderry?
No, that's in the borough.
Yeah, across the streets.
Yeah.
It's just past there is the borough line.
We will have boundary class on Monday.
Line is past there. The borough line is past there.
Well, no, actually, Philadelphia Mixers is in the borough, but then that little section like where Hartman Transmissions was.
Exactly.
That's North Londonderry.
Oh, I thought it just stopped right there. I apologize.
No, it's like a little cutout.
So it's a little,
Yeah,
So pretty much,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
that company goes in effect, then they're gonna have a lot of tractor trailers coming in on Main Street, which,
Not a lot.
which could create.
learn something new.
We already have problems with the roads.
I asked them about truck traffic, and it's really not,
It won't be
it
that much.
won't be that much.
We already have a lot of road problems.
So they'll have to do a development plan?
Yeah,
land
they'll have to do
development,
the
and
whole
all-
thing.
They'll have to go
Th-
through all the,
This is just
the
all
whole
in the.
process.
Yeah, this
Okay.
is just in the, I just wanted to mention it in case you hear rumblings of it out in the world, that you know what's going on,
Oh, I'm sure we will.
so.
Especially after tonight.
News travels
Yeah.
fast, so.
I have concerns.
that doesn't involve water, right?
And I'm sure it does.
If you've read the news lately, Cumberland County's having issues with the application on the farm fields. So that's after what these folks want to do.
But that's not from this company,
No.
so I don't know what
It's-
that process would be
Question?
like.
But it's the same type of product, right? Like, so, there you go.
Thinking a little outside the box, but also thinking with problems we have in the borough. Is the company that's looking to come in going to have any kind of huge underground water tanks?
No, I think everything will be above ground.
Okay, because we have a huge sinkhole under there.
I think they're aware of that.
As we know what's happening at the car wash, at that
Yeah.
sinkhole.
Might not be the best for them.
They think it's a perfect fit for the area that they're gonna serve. They serve almost from just outside of New York City down to
the middle,
Hagerstown, Maryland, in that radius.
From New York City to come down.
I'm surprised they didn't put it closer to 81.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be
Okay,
a lot
well,
better.
interesting to find out more
It
information.
may
on
happen, it may not
Yeah.
happen. So I just wanted to let you know that it's in the works, and it's something that we're, it's taken up some of our time here, so.
Do they need to get anything approved by
Also just a
us
sinkhole,
in
they can
order?
put 'em
Oh,
on the
yeah.
roof.
They will have
Everything,
to.
yeah.
Oh, no, I just wanted to make sure that.
So, it sounds pretty interesting, so we'll see how
But
it goes.
Cumberland County is having problems, and it's the same product.
No,
Similar
the application.
Similar. It's not from the same
Application is
company, and
not-
my only reason for bringing
Not
it
the
up is as it
process.
has been right now in the news. So, but what they're talking about is the product after it's applied to the field.
Right.
That's not what this company wants to do with this particular
They don't wanna
product
do that,
at this location.
Sorry.
Everybody likes farmland until it smells like farmland.
Well, it's what they're
Yeah.
putting on the
I-
fields
I-
right now.
Everybody in
stink
this
worse.
area is used to manure smell. And my gosh,
And not the manure they're using right
the
now.
pig barn that used to be up on Ridge Road, when that was cleaned out, that was even worse than manure.
And the sewer
The
smell
cow
kind
manure.
wise.
Yeah, but that's not what they're using
So the only other thing I got is the auditors are here this week, so they're driving, not so much me, but they're driving everybody else crazy. So. That's all I got.
How is it that time again? They were just here. Okay. Anybody, no communications, any other business? Chief, Bill?
Yes. It's been an honor to represent the residents of Palmyra, and I have thoroughly enjoyed my time on council, working with the great members and learning so much. I also look forward to serving the residents as the Assistant Codes and Zoning Officer, helping to improve our community.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
You were an asset to Borough Council, and I'm sorry to see you go.
It's been a pleasure and an honor.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Nope.
Nope.
Nancy? Anthony?
No, good.
Roger, Brenda? Nope. Okay. Public comment period number 2. Please state your name and address for the record and try to limit your comments to 3 minutes. Yes. You sure can. Step up to the podium, please. Andy.
Testing, 1, 2. All right, no. To the borough, great job. Bill, congratulations to you. To the managers, I appreciate that as the chief of police as well. So what I want to say is that the resolution 24-12 that there was some conversation about, I think you guys are really looking at some stuff that needs to be considered. You guys looking at it as the borough council, I appreciate that. And then I must admit, when I came in and found out what is occurring with, with Bill, if you guys are interested, just tell me how to do it. I can apply to come back on the council again. So now that I found out about it, it's kind of surprised, so I will do that. But I'm not exactly sure of the process, but if they'll let me know, the managers, I'll do what you gotta do. And that's it. Great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, closing public comment period number 2. Borough Council will conduct its next public meetings on Tuesday, March 26th, 2024, and Tuesday, April 9th, 2024, beginning at 7 p.m. Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Meeting adjourned.
I just thought of that one. 1954. How stupid was I? I appointed somebody to a position I voted
I can get it
against.
from John, since you got it.